Good morning, my little mothlings. How are you doing today? We have started the day. We're going to play Death and Taxes today. We were actually going to play Amulet, but we don't trust I don't trust MTGO. I'm actually hearing a lot of really good things about the post patch, the update. But until we see it for ourselves, I don't trust it. So today's still Death and Taxes, and that's okay because I fucking love Death and Taxes. I played this deck for years and years and years before it was cool. Or at least before it was good. That's a different aspect, right? So, we have a slightly different build today. Let me pull it up for you. Basically, it's pretty similar to what we were just running. Okay. Let's say you're not on the right screen, but I'll get you there. I'll get you there. So, this is our build. You can see it's actually pretty similar to what we were running. The land base is the same. The main thing that changed is the Liliana came out of the main. The Liliana came out of the side. So that would leave us with we had 61 cards, so actually that brings us exactly to 60, and I don't think there's any other changes. In the side, we took out the Lily, and we took out what else did we take out? We took out the Lily and the Plague Engineer for 2 deafening silences. I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, our Ruby matchup isn't that bad, and so maybe that's actually but it'll give us a nice like turn 1 like line hit out to really stop the deck. The other big thing is this is going to be really good against Breach and these kind of things. I would say Breach has a little bit more tools to remove it, but at the same time, they're basically going to counter it if they're going to get rid of it. I think if it gets on the board, they're still pretty boned. So, I mean, Ruby has Wear Tear. Most versions of Ruby have Wear Tear anyway, but it's just one more thing. If they Wear Tear it, they can't kill us that turn anyway, so that's fine, right? Okay, so let's jump into a game, right? We got this league all ready to go. I imagine you might want to see it, so I'll make that a possibility. Like so. Okay. Enough nonsense. We mean business. Let's play some Magic. I still don't think the exclamation point deck works because that bot is not great. Maybe we can. We're waiting to be matched. Let's, in the background, I'm going to try to get this stupid bot working. Home. Okay, well, I click once and it says whatever, but... Okay, we are on the play versus Mr. Clay. Mr. Clay. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. Wisp, Flicker Wisp. This is not great, but we can keep it. I think that the Vial helps us. First turn, we are just going to play a Concealed Courtyard. Play a Vial. And pass the turn. Opponent plays an Arid Mesa. They might be on. They could be on energy right now. We don't know. We will tick up. White Orchid is a great card. We won't be casting it into their fetch because that's not how Magic cards work, but we're going to Marsh Flats, Surveil at the end of their turn. Reveal your true self, enemy. This might be the mirror. This is not the mirror. This is Mardu energy. Or Mardu taxes. I don't know. It's Mardu. Overlord. That is a card. Well, thank you for wasting my time. This person. Ugh. Okay. Sometimes we wish we had mods, hey? I don't know how to do that, how to get rid of that. Okay. Fair. We're just gonna let that resolve. They're gonna do a thing. I don't know why. Beginning combat. End step, they're gonna take down. Let's fetch Surveil. Ephemerate. Well, that's not terrible. We'll keep that on top. Opponent will do something. I'm gonna try to figure out how to fucking get rid of this stupid. As my time ticks away. What? Aha. Okay. I swear I'm doing the useful stuff in the background. I don't know how to. We're gonna tick up. We will tick up. Hey, look at that. I deleted it. Yay. Okay. Play a plains. We have a wisp we don't need. We have an apparition that can't target that. We have a vial. We have 1, 2. Yeah, we're just gonna. We're gonna throw out the wisp. It's 2-1. We'll get a. Or it's 3-1. We'll wisp a land. We're just gonna wisp out a plains and get ourselves turn on ephemerate. We're gonna set it. Yeah, we're yield until their upkeep. Get our plains back. Their upkeep. We're gonna vial in the phantom. Turn off red. We have the Hode here, just in case. Our lucky Hode ear. Opponent surveils. I'll allow it. Okay, what the fuck? What are we playing? What do we see? FOMO. This is the Atraxa in their grave is kind of odd. So they're not playing energy, which we kind of actually figured by the use Aether Vial. Yeah, Vial up to 3. The Plains is not a very good draw. Beginning combat. Let's swing for 5. So we have Skyclave Apparition up through the vial. We also have Ephemerate. Opponent has an Overlord ticking down slowly. Wisp. Apparition can eat the Wisp, but that doesn't stop the ETB. We can ephemerate. Yeah, it looks like they're getting their Overlord. Not great. Not the end of the world. Opponent. Opponent takes a Flicker Wisp. I guess that tells us that we should, we'll save. We're gonna hold off on the Skyclave. Always yield the Vial, and we will always know the Vial from 3. Emperor of Bones, very good card. We're actually going to get an Atraxa this turn. That's not bad. They probably have a Solitude in their hand. Well, I don't know. Let's there's a Solitude in the graveyard, and they did not take it back when they did not take it back when they could have. So it does suggest that they have some sort of removal. They are tapped out, and so that removal would have to be Solitude. It is Solitude, and it's during their it's during my main phase, which means I can blink it. Okay, main phase, if we ephemerate Emperor, it also means that we have a land drop, so we can still activate Emperor. And they concede. So I don't know what they're doing, but Rest in Peace comes in. We saw Atraxa. We saw a Blink package. Let's take Fairy Macabre as well. Just really zoning in on the graveyard hate. We have, yeah, Deafening Silence, Dranith, Kataki, Stones. Yeah, this looks good. They are going to side in some graveyard hate as well. Likely that's fine. We don't need the White Orchid. The Bowmasters could be nice into the Wisps. Go down to 1 Interrupter. And then go down a Skyclave. Down to 60. So they don't seem crazy fast. Like, if we cut a Balemerc, yeah, I'm so hesitant to cut Balemerc, but you might be right in the mirror, I think. Okay, we will definitely keep this. So we have Marsh Flats and we have Shadowy Backstreet. We want a Vial on 1. And Shadowy Backstreet makes it so we have trouble with 2 for the Balemerc. But I think Vial in the first on turn 1 is the only place. Yeah, that's true. But it is also like if they until they don't have, like I could see game 3 if they don't. We're gonna take a God the Shrine Shock. Game 3, like if they played Rest in Peace, like if we can see what their sideboard package was, I could see that. Rest in Peace shuts them down. I don't know if it's more likely. We'll pass the turn. I don't know if it's more likely that they have Rest in Peace or Leyline of the Void, because some were playing Leyline of the Void, some were playing or didn't like Leyline of the Void, but a lot of people are disliking Rest in Peace because it shuts off their own graveyard. It actually reminds me a bit when I played Scam. It was this idea of best case scenario. It's a 5/5 that mills me 4. What do you want? I mean, by that same logic, I should be siding out Emperor Bones, right? I mean, I don't believe I should, but that's kind of a. It's a. It's the excessive version of that, right? Opponent, Blood Crypt, Shock into Overlord. They get a FOMO. When they take the Witch Enchanter, they will be looking squarely at my Vial. End step. Overlord ticks down. They're on some. It looks kind of like a Mardu Blink package, but at the same time, they are already. I saw an Atraxa last game, so take that as you will. Another Shadowy Backstreet, so I guess we play one. We will keep Bowmasters. Play a Vial. Pass the turn. I have no business on opponent's turn. No, not Flay. Flicker Wisp. Hey, that plays really nicely into my Bowmasters I'm going to get. It doesn't play nicely into... Where's my Flicker Wisp? Balemerc, huh? Huh, opponent? Opponent takes the FOMO. We will forget to click yield those again. We can actually always yield. Hold on. We will tick up. Click always yield. And we will tick up. So we Shadowy Backstreet once more. Interrupter, our Vial will be at 3 next turn. FOMO's already going to be cast. I think we... Let's put that in the grave. I think we can do better. Oops. We're going to impend the Overlord. Yes. There's a rest in peace. It's not great. Witch Enchanter helps us. I think we just pass the turn. We tick down. If they do anything with Flicker Wisp, we can Bowmasters in. We can also Bowmasters can block the Overlord. They have a FOMO in their hand, which could attack twice. Well, they don't have Delirium, so we are about 3 minutes behind the opponent. So we should already kind of start to... We're still 16 minutes out, but this is game 2, but we should kind of start to play a little faster. Opponent attacks with both. Let's let them make their Balemerc decision first. Through the Breach, Atraxa. What the fuck is going on, opponent? They take an Atraxa. Let's assume they have a Through the Breach in their hand. Not great. Okay. Vial. Kill the Wisp. Block with the army. Opponent plays a Witch and a Flicker Wisp. They blink their Witch. Presumably they're going to get my Overlord. I think Vial, once there's 2 Vials, it's much less of an issue. Yeah. So, all good. 1, 2 Vial. We go yes. We go yes. Flooded Strand. We're going to fetch for a Plains. Well, I'm really sad that Atraxa wouldn't come back on my side if I blink it. But, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3. We can actually destroy their Overlord, but they have an Atraxa in their hand, and I don't like it. We could also get our own Atraxa, which feels like the better answer. We're going to Vial in the Emperor Bones. That leaves up Ephemerate. They might have... Oh, they just give up. Nice. Yay. That's a good way to start the day. So at the end of that, they did give up. What's the question here was if we use the Vial early or during our main, which is not great, but then we could activate it and be able to blink, or basically keep us with Ephemerate, right? Okay, so we're 1-0. We fought the lag and we won, right? Okay, so I'm gonna kick you to the bar for 5 minutes. I know it's a little late, but or a little early, but you know what we say. It's always after noon somewhere. It's 12:30. We can do that. Okay. Then I'll be right back. Hi. Okay, we're back. By the way, did you notice we have a plant? I mean, I know we've talked about the plant before, but I think it's grown about this much. We can see it now. Or I reposition the camera. One of the two. But yeah. So let's go game round 2. That was a 2-0. I don't know what to call that deck. It was Weber. I'm gonna call it Weber FOMO. I mean, we saw Traxa, we saw things like that. Mardu not a deck dot deck. Okay, we have a match. I'm in the wrong screen here. Okay. Happiest. That is a great username. We're happiest on the draw. That's kind of funny. Okay. Vile Solitude Interrupter, 3 lands. This is a good hand. We're going to keep that. Yeah, I was surprised to not see Goryo. The one thing that really I saw through the breach in the side, or sorry, in the graveyard. The one thing that was really weird that must have been through the breach because when they milled an Atraxa, they put it back in their hand. So, by the way, this is absolutely breach. The opponent plays a bobble. Opponent looks at my top card. That's fine. I mean, twins not really a thing, though, is it? Opponent draws during my upkeep. Because Bob will be like that. Trawler. Good later, not great now. We're going to fetch a Plains. We're just going to get a file. Next turn, we'll fetch fetch something a bit more black. Pass the turn. We have Solitude Solitude Pitching Interrupter for Tammy, but I don't think it's that big of a threat right now. Opponent attacks Tammy. We'll yield their turn. I don't have things to do. We'll yield our vials. Tick up into my turn. Another land, which is bad. We can stop drawing land now. Let's get the Bowmasters online and pass the turn. We shouldn't have passed the turn. I mean, we passed the turn, right? But they cracked their clue. That's fine. Opponent attacks Tammy. If they have they're waiting for a way to draw 2 cards in a turn, and that'll be how we kill Tammy, or how we don't. I don't know. I think we just hold on to Bowmasters unless they do something crazy. Bobble. So Bobble, they're gonna look at our top. So they draw a card. We're going to throw up Bowmasters. Yeah, I feel like we need to shoot Tammy. That'll stop them from flipping it. Second target, Tammy. I'm sure flipping it was what they were planning. We will tick up. Witch Enchanter is great and too late. So we're tapped out basically. We're just going to surveil this turn. That's entirely possible. I think they only needed to crack the clue to flip Tammy. I'm not sure if it was their main plan, like they probably had the Saga backup plan as they just showed, but I think they would have opportunistically flipped it. They cracked the bauble on their turn? Well, yeah, what they would have needed one extra, I don't know. Yeah. I think you might be right. Opponent taps for some mana. Searches for, I don't know, a Mox, probably. Hey, look, a Mox. Green, one blue. Fair. I always think that Tammy makes much more sense. Like the earlier you can flip it, the better it is in that sense, right? Like the better it would be, or the more useful it would be for them in the long run. Though arguably making a pile of constructs also good. So I think I wasn't going to do it, but I was thinking about solituding the construct just to shut off Mox, but they have the extra mana with the Eldrazi now anyway, so it doesn't matter. I've seen them play Consider and Thought Scour, right? So might on the stack. It doesn't matter. I was again thinking about trying to get Metalcraft shut off, but they would just tap it now. I think we can just take. We can take 5. We can take 5. End step. Crack. And surveil. Yeah, Magic is running quite smoothly. Ooh. We will draw a White Orchid that will dump their other Saga. Tick up Vial. Play a Flooded Strand. 1/2 White Orchid. So Violet 3, they can destroy it at literally any time, but we have Interrupter and Trawler in response, should we need that. They make a Construct, which means Might is turned off. This, I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm going to Solitude the Might. Quick check that they can't do anything. Exile Solitude, or Exile Enchanter to Solitude. So we eat the Might and destroy the Saga, so they can't find another one. I'm sure they have them in their deck, right? That's not the difference, but we definitely are not the aggro here. Opponent, relevant 3 baubles in their hand. And end of turn, we have a... Yeah, they're going to attack with the Constructs, which is significant. However, they don't have Trample, so that's also significant. We'll block with the Army. Block with the White Orchid. Take the 0 from Tammy. Smack him with a bit of first strike damage. Opponent plays a Spellbomb. Opponent has 2 7/7s. This is significant. We're about a minute up. But that's not a big deal. That's just... Shadow Backstreet, Surveil. Recruiter. Recruiter with a Violet 3 feels very good. We'll keep that on top. Into my turn. Well, no. Keep the Violet 3. So, Recruiter, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, we could Recruiter for... We could Recruiter for anything, and it would make... Yeah, this is not great. We could Recruiter for anything and get rid of a Construct, but that turns off Interrupters. So probably we need to Recruiter with something with Flash that'll hopefully take care of something, or if it doesn't, then we're going to block with the Recruiter in that. They do have a Spellbomb. We're going to Vial in the Recruiter. Oops. Yes, we will use that. Recruiter. We're going to yield the Recruiter, and we will use that ability. What do we need right now? We could... 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is not 5, hey? We're going to take 7. We're going to take Ophelia, take 7, cast it at the end of turn, blink one. This is not a great plan. But Flicker Wisp doesn't have... Flicker Wisp doesn't have Flash. I'm going to take 8, hey? We could dump Interrupter out, but I feel like... Basically, every time we've played against Breach and use our Interrupter, we end up losing. Historically speaking. We have to take 8 because the Bowmasters is single-handedly stopping them from drawing at least 4 cards. Four is fine. See, if we would have used the Interrupter, we would have just lost right fucking now. Okay, we do nothing though. We let them cast Breach. Now we hope they play Grinding Station. We interrupt Grinding Station. They rumble. Rumble's a good card. It is not game winning. The good thing is, I think if they're digging for Rumble, or if they're digging for Grinding Station, if they get it, this will at least exile it. They have a Grinding Station there. Opponent plays a land, fetches. Mox Amber. They have 1, 2, 3 mana open. 2 mana. Emery is fine. Emery's going to mill. Emery's not going to... They can't use it this turn. I think the whole breach here, we're just looking to... We're looking to suss out... Ah, yeah, let me see the... Ah, I know why. I think this is why. But I'll make it work. That's good. Now they cast their Grinding Station. The downside means... actually... 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the Amber, it wasn't about the card sizes, and because if even with card sizes, they'll eventually go off, but I think I changed the chat on the side. So we are going to interrupt the Grinding Station. We interrupt your regularly scheduled Grinding Station. Worst case scenario, they have 2 9/9s, which are not great. Man, Happiest is such a good fucking username. Opponent, not sure. Not sure what they're doing, actually. Sorry, we're doing a little resizing for the sake of trying to optimize that. Opponent sacrifices their Breach. We still don't get to... We don't get Thalia, which is sad. Upkeep. We're going to keep Violet 3. Nope. Solitude would be a lot better with another land. Okay, 2/9/9s. We have to block with. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to do some blocking. I don't want to solitude anything. Maybe should have. Well, beginning combat. So 2/9/9s. We have to block. We want to keep interrupter. I think it's time to let them draw cards. We're gonna block with the Bowmaster and the Trawler after exiling their graveyard. It's not optimal here, but I think we want interrupter. Yeah. Bowmasters, Trawler. They didn't attack with Tammy for some reason. Opponent 3 cards in hand. I don't like it, but we just have to let them do what they're gonna do. We've yielded to end step. We're gonna cast Felia. Top deck of Baelmerk would treat us right. Top deck of Flickerwisp would treat us right. Actually, top deck of Flickerwisp would be incredible. They just played Underworld Breach again. I'm not entirely sure they remember the second line of an interrupter, or they're going to kill it. One of the two. So the last line of interrupters, spells your opponents cast control from graveyards or from exile cost 2 more. I feel like the top decking the Breach, casting the Grinding Station, very good. But I feel like they planned on casting the Opal. And that is not going to do what's happening. I mean, maybe it will, but maybe just once, right? Like, it's not going to... No. The, everything from the grave costs 2 more, right? Granted, what they're probably going to do, or what they could do, is they could spellbomb the interrupter, but then I can just cast the interrupter. The downside is if they do that, it takes me off Felia again, so I still have to deal with the big constructs. So there's no real good answer here, but I feel like we're probably not going to lose this turn. Although them discarding a Swan Song isn't great. Damn it. You mean like that? That is true. Do I have... Yeah, so I can worst case Felia here, but I think that's not what we're doing, and that's not helping. I think we definitely yield the turn. Yeah, we yield the turn. They can eat their own clock. I'm not going to spend another second on this match. So what comes in? This board looks really good for a... Like, what would Pest Control would get rid of the clues, the artifacts. In this case, they could recast them. Pest control specifically would get rid of the constructs. We also have... We have Wrath. Wrath would... is better or worse than pest control. Deafening Silence comes in. I always forget there was even a view sideboard. Yeah, so we're just gonna, like I say, we're just gonna let them... we're gonna let them do their thing. We have lost, but we need to talk time. So, Stony Silence, very good. Rest in Peace, very good. Deafening Silence, very good. Drannith Magistrate, very good. Kataki, middling. Good. Good, but it's piling on a lot of the same stuff, like on the other side. But it is recruitable. So, Magistrate, toughness, 4 toughness. There's their Thoracle. White Orchids are bad. We have one in the main that'll come out. We have an Apparition that can stay in. We can have... We could go straight Wrath route and take out the... take out the Vials, but they are they do have a bit of counterspell going on. So our sideboard is quite good into Breach. The question here is what we take out and/or being weary of overboarding, right? Okay. Let's think what can come out first. Orchid comes out. Bowmasters was kind of an all-star in this sense. I think Skyclaves can come out. I think that they are very good in this matchup. Or they can be good in this matchup in getting rid of things. If Vial is out. But otherwise, they're too slow. Everything comes down on the opponent's turn for the win. So I think we need to proactively shut down some things. Rest in Peace, Stony Silence, Deafening Silence, a lot of silence, and Drannith. We won't necessarily put them all in, but we're going to cut a Bailmerk, because that's what we do. Because the biggest problem with the cutting the Bailmerks is the recursion of Solitude versus the constructs, which are all big, but Ephemerate Solid or Failure, we're going to get rid of one of those. We can get rid of a Recruiter, down to 2. We're basically just nothing to cut. We're just kind of trimming the top. We're going to keep both Emperors, or both Interrupters. This is 62. Kind of want to cut an Emperor. Graveyard Hate is good, but we're bringing a lot. We're cutting Emperor. Just 1. And we'll play 61 cards. We added a lot of low-cost things. And we always walk that line between 60 and 61 with two lands anyway. I think Macabre could be good, but I think it's more... We cut a Recruiter, and we have Rest in Peace right here. We'll keep those. This is a very good hand. Magistrate, Rest in Peace. And Trawler. I mean, Trawler is in the deck normally, but that's also good at, like, this is a... We don't have a whole lot of threats. We're going to maybe beat them down with 1/2s, or they're going to beat us down with Urza Sagas. But it's a pretty good hand. We're going to fetch Shock. We don't care so much about life in this matchup. It matters a little bit, yes. It matters a little bit, but with any combo match, it's that idea when they win, they kind of just win. So we're going to play a Vial, pass the turn. And we'll yield their turn as well. Opponent surveils, which is good. We know they have Swan Song. We saw it in their graveyard last time. I don't remember offhand what Swan Song hits, but it just tells us to be a little weary of 1-mana counterspells. That said, they surveilled, so it doesn't matter. Bobble. We'll look at our top card. Take Vial. We're going to yield Vial. Bobble might be important. We'll keep that open. And we will tick up Vial. Another Vial, less useful. Flooded Strand, we're going to fetch a basic. Play a Rest in Peace. Dranith, less important immediately, plus we can Vial it in next turn. Pass the turn. Opponent plays the Rainforest, cracks it to fetch. Plays Tammy. I'll make my 0-1 Draniths. No. We'll tick Vial up to 2. Classic. Well, you don't need 2 Draniths in case they would kill one. So we're just going to play 2 Vials. And sit and hang out. Yield the turn. I mean, I don't know if we need 3 Vials, but I don't see any board wipes in Breach being a thing. Opponent is going to attack with Tammy. I think end step we're going to Vial in Dranith, even though it's kind of doubling up. Again, with Rest in Peace, we keep 1 in hand just in case. But I think we need something on the board. Opponent plays a Mobile. Opponent plays a Mox. I'm starting to think this Opal is a very good card. Okay. Activate Vial. Throw out a Magistrate. Into my turn. We throw these all up. We will always know yes the Vial to 3. And we'll yes the other 2. Or unless they do whatever they're about to do. 1, 2, 3. Flame of Anor. Flame of Anor. They did not like the Vial, and they draw 2 cards, I imagine. Yeah. Okay. Into my turn. A land, which is not great. Play our land, looking to surveil next turn. We have Trawler on Vial. We don't need Magistrate until Rest in Peace is gone, so I think we keep it in our hand for now. They might flip Tamio in this case, and that wouldn't be the end of the world. So, big plus side, there is only 1 more Vial I could possibly draw. The big downside is that I will draw that now that I mention this. Opponent? Preordain. That's fine. Opponent bottom plays a land. Draws a card. Flips Tammy. Yep, sure. Pluses Tammy. Plays another one. Okay. Opponent's end step. Let's surveil. Oh, we had a little lag there. Not bad, but the first whispers of what was of the terrible that was yesterday. So we will surveil. Interrupter is good. We'll keep that on top. So all we have right now is all we have is things that stop them. We don't have a way to win. We haven't drawn a way to win for quite a while, but that Tammy will keep attacking. That'll be fine. So we have Magistrate, Trawler, and Interrupter all on Vial. Interrupter as well can be played through mana. We'll just pass the turn. Opponent 6 minutes back. So opponent wants Tammy to flip. We don't know what they have in their hand. They'll probably have something to kill this, but the enchantments are really hard for them to get rid of aside from Might. I think during their end step, it looks like we're gonna Trawler, if only so we can swing in and hit Tammy. They might blast it. Like, they could easily kill it, but at the same time, that kind of stops them from killing something more valuable. So the vials, it's time to decide with the vials. I think we're going to bring one, we're going to leave one at 3, or we could do 2, 3, 5, actually. This is not a bad time to go up to 5. We tick up one, we don't tick the other. We draw a land because land. Trawler is going to hit Tammy. As long as they... That's fine. We're just looking to offset their minuses, right? Let's play our land. We pass the turn. Opponent surveils. I would have liked to click yield forever on the surveil. The surveils are really important. Yeah. Draw card. Yeah, the surveil triggers aren't that important of theirs because we can always, if we were going to do it before their surveil, it makes sense to do it after they make a decision, right? So, beginning of combat. They do not attack. They have a Saga, which is not great. I didn't fetch to surveil, which is not great. Vial, yes. We're going to bump that up to 4. Keep the other one at 2. Fatal Push. That's a good card. We're just going to go ahead and push the Tammy and attack the other Tammy. Fatal Push is not an incredibly useful card against them. Tammy is basically their only target. Well, I guess I could have saved it for Construct, which would have been better. in immediate retrospect, but that's how it is. As long as I keep drawing land, so the sagas are the real threat here. They want to destroy. If it's that important to us, we will interrupt that. They will kill something at sorcery speed next turn. That's fine. We're going to yield our turn. They're going to Whip Flare, which is not great. Not great. And it doesn't even kill constructs. It's a very good card. Yield to their end step. And we'll crack the Marsh Flaps. Marsh Flaps. And Surveil. Nature's Claim gets rid of Rest in Peace. Stop, stop, stop. Stop yielding. Stop yielding. Telling you, I just need a button that I can press. I need a button that I can just press to immediately have, like, no stop. Like, stop unless I'm pressing control or whatever the fuck. Okay, Shadow Backstreet. We're going to Surveil. We certainly do not need another Concealed Courtyard. We're flush up on land. We're fine on land. 1, 2, 3. Let's tick the 4 up to 5. The 2 stays at 2. Draw Deafening Silence. That's a very good Magic card. 3 cards in hand. They have blue, blue, untapped, and tap their Saga. I think there's a very decent chance that they have a counterspell. However, I'm going to Deafening Silence to get it out of their hand. We still have the Magistrate as backup, even if that does not resolve, but it does. They have a Tamiyon 6. Not great. Opponent searches for Saga. Make a construct. That's fine. So we are 1 match down. Things are not great from that side. However, they have 245 left. I think a clock win is what's going to happen here, and that's not great, but we'll see. Haywire Might presumably will hit Deafening Silence. 1, 2, 3 vials. Nothing is going to move. 3, 5, 2. I'm gonna play it straight into the Bailmerk, or into the Might. If they want my Bailmerk, they have to leave the Deafening Silence out. Overlord will get us all sorts of good toys. Yeah, we will use that. Take the Wisp so we can dump the construct. No, I've changed my mind. I think we need to main phase and blink Tammy. Otherwise, they ult. I think we can just take 6. That's not the end of the world. Activate Vial. Like, even if they can only play one spell through Deafening Silence. What are they going to kill? The Deafening Silence. That's fine. So, I will use the Aether Vial. Flicker Wisp. Okay, small misplay, but not the end of the world. I should have done that at my end step, so it comes back during their end step. However, that's okay. So Bailmer ticks down. Tammy comes back. But Tammy comes back as a creature. And not the monster she was. Hello, hello. Welcome, Apfar. Yeah, Zoe's great. Welcome to our Death and Taxes League today. Underworld Breach. We, in response, how much mana do you have? They have tons of mana. 2 cards in hand. Well, Might, Nature's Claim. Nature's Claim is the issue. We're Violent in Dranith. I'm not sure if maybe we should have waited until they did something else. But at least Breach is on the stack. They can't cast anything unless they can kill it. We don't know if they have Rumble. We don't know anything in their hand right now. We can just take 5. That's not the end of the world. They have Rumble in their grave, yeah. Their Breach was useless, and it was more that if they had if they had Unholy Heat or something in their hand, then they would have just they could have just killed it and continued to win. But they did not. No. I guess we could probably take that up at this point, but Witch Enchanter. Let's get some bodies on the board, and we kill the construct. Nothing else in this case really matters so much. The construct is their beater, and everything else is shut off. We are in no position to attack at all. We just passed the turn. No attacks. We just hang out and impend our Bailmark. They draw a card. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so they heat the Magistrate. I have defenses down, nothing in my hand. Yeah. Yeah, they have 52 seconds. I'm going to wait till they start doing anything. Yeah, I'm going to yield the turn and let them die. They don't necessarily die, but I don't see... I've been there with Titan. Viciously clicking, trying to get through. I mean, they have the Thoracle kill, right? If they can get there. Honestly, I'll be impressed if they can get there. If they can get there, I'll take the loss if they can get there. I did lose the first game, so they are one game up. 4-3-2-1. Whoop whoop whoop. It's amazing what a little lag be gone can give you. See, maybe I am just happier not keeping track of my game losing decisions. Okay. I'm gonna kick you to the bar for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do the next. Then we'll do the next round, right? So, pull up a bar stool. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back and better than ever, right? That's what we say. We're back and better than Ezra. We are going to play our next round. We're 2-0 right now. First playing some sort of wild FOMO Attraction nonsense. I mean, when Attrax isn't an option, it's always there's always some danger there, but that was a win-win. And then Breach, we lost, but then won to time. We lost the first and won to time. So Breach, they absolutely would have won. We started the last game's hand. We started with Rest in Peace, 2 Dranith, and a Bogart Trawler, and a Vial. We ended up with 3 Vials, which were actually useful, weirdly. So we started out with all of the sideboard hate you could ever want against Breach, and they still almost won. They got rid of everything, but they ran out of time. It's an angle of attack that they cannot stop. No matter who you are, you cannot stop the march of time. Okay, we have an opponent. That opponent is Bigatti. We've won the die roll. We'll play first. Land, Recruiter, Fatal Push, Interrupter, Solitude. We could Solitude, Exiling, Recruiter, Fetch. Yeah, we'll keep that. Fetch, Surveil. Capital big. I think it would be weird if their name did not start with a capital letter. Honestly, maybe all their letters should be capital. All their cards should be capitalized. I don't know exactly what a capitalized Solitude would look like, but I don't know. Opponent is really thinking about this one. Or Magic's lagging again, I don't know. So opponent keeps 6. We play Marsh Flats and pass the turn. We have a Fatal Push ready. We would much rather Surveil. Opponent plays a Hydroelectric Lab. This is Belcher. They did bolt on the lab, which is interesting, but Vial, I guess the turn 2 Vial. Oof. Well, we'll keep a turn 2 Vial on top. They don't have any Lotus Petals exiled, so I think we're okay here. Play another Marsh Flats. Play a Vial. Pass the turn. We want to get Interrupter online. And we want to keep him off 7 life, but we can actually what is plot? Cast as a sorcerer in a later turn without paying its mana cost. Okay, so if we plot a Lotus, it'll still come back. Beginning combat. Opponent end step. Let's get our other Surveil land. Shadow Backstreet. Surveil. We do not need a Congealed Courtyard. Into the grave. into my turn, we will set the vial to yield and hiccup. So they probably, it doesn't look like they can win next turn. So we can play a land. We could play a land and recruit for a wisp. Man, I just got rid of one of those. Conceal courtyard. We're going to 1, 2, 3. If they counter recruiter, yeah, they are countering it. Stern scolding. That's fine. We'll get that out of their hand. They don't have so much counter magic. We did want that, but probably. Yeah, their end step. We tick up file. Thank you for the follow, Akira Oliva. Okay, we will play a swamp. Pass the turn. We have Interrupter Ephemerate, which is always a fun one. Hello, hello. 1, 2, 3. Whir of Invention is a wonderful card to interrupt. Actually, hey, maybe that actually, I don't know if that was, disrupting shoal. Pitching flare. Okay. To be fair, there was, yeah. Whir as an X spell is funny because it would still get them the Lotus. Tameshi. Well. Give me priority and it's gone, but that might not be enough. But that is what we have to do to not die. Here's how's it. They could do blue 1 and counter it with whatever the, yeah, Jawari, is it Jawari Disruption? But the thing is that would leave them with no mana. I guess they're still returning. They might be able to do that. We'll see. But again, this is our only play. Fatal Push is not turned on. Resolves. Exile Tameshi. There's always new follow goals, but I would love it if you followed. That's a. We're getting close. We're getting close. So opponent returns Lotus Bloom. So opponent tap land. Theoretically, with a land drop next turn, they can win. Let's see what our lovely top deck gives us. We tick up Vial. Felia would have been great a turn ago. Okay, so we're passing the. We're actually gonna cast Felia. We'll cast Felia on our turn. If they want to counter Felia, they gotta crack their Lotus. Otherwise, they have 2 cards in their hand. If it is exactly if the top deck plus those 2 cards is is a Charbelcher and a land, then we lose. Besides that, we don't. That's kind of just playing against Belcher, right? We're just going to yield their turn. We ain't got no business. They either win or don't. They bolted that. Yeah, this is, I'm sure. Okay, cool. That's not one. That's not one that we let leave for time. So Belcher. Stony Silence, incredibly important. White Orchids are amazing. Rest in Peace or something like that versus Tameo, but that's not what we want to do. We would maybe think about Fairy Macabre. Magistrate can shut off the. Magistrate can shut off the suspended cards. Okay, this is what we're looking like. We might not keep all that, but let's see where we're at. Bowmasters is useless. We can cut a Fatal Push. I think we can cut all the Fatal Push. They do occasionally have creatures, and those creatures can be used for Flare. So we'll maybe consider putting them back in, but it's really not amazing. The same as Apparition. Compared to what we want in, it's not amazing. This is 61. We could cut something if we want. But I think we're okay here. Skyclave, yeah. It seems kind of terrible. Interrupter. Yeah, I figured. Okay, well, let's take out. Dranith is a very extreme case. We'll take out a Dranith, and we're going to take out a Felia. Not tons of targets there. Down to 61. We'll roll with this. What we want in our hand, our perfect starting hand right now is Plains, White Orchid, Stony Silence, White Orchid. 1, 2 lands. We'll keep this. We're keeping this on the back of how good Wisp is here. Felia is very good. It's more that we have 4, and they don't really have a lot of removal. So I think 3 is okay. Whereas Vial we want on first turn, right? So end step, crack and take a Shadowy Backstreet. Surveil 1. Gorgeous. We'll keep that on top. We do need a land. That's a valid concern. But we don't have a Stony Silence, do we? We also don't have a Vial, but Disrupting Shoal, exiling Thunderclap Trapper. Okay, that's fine. What's the first? That's Suppression Ray. That's Seagate. They have another Thunderclap. They will get a land. Really would love a. Well, okay. A land would have been great. but they're not going to win next turn. We can Solitude Thundertrap, but that doesn't matter at all. It does matter in the way. I think we want to Solitude Thundertrap before we do anything else, because it's free, and Thundertrap turns on Flare. They have 2 mana for a Disruption. Well, this Balemerc right here, that means they win. Black 1. Exile Recruiter. So there's a decent chance they have in their hand a Jawari Disruption. And if they do, the game is over. 1, 2, 3, they get Lotus Bloom next turn. There's not much we can do here. All we have to do is play to our outs. We can play to, yeah, there's a Disruption. I do have a stream schedule. It's on the Twitch. However, it's mostly just I stream every day at noon. The stream schedule says I should be playing, or that I play D&T and Amulet basically, and then Friday's kind of a gimme. But that said, I've been really digging on D&T, and so I've been playing a lot more D&T. Tameshi. Okay. We have to wait for priority. Basically, every day at noon Central European time, and you know, I'll be playing something. Exile Recruiter. Maybe should have been the Flicker Wisp, for what it's worth. I'm gonna get rid of this crap because we don't. Okay. So that was a game loss. If they had, well, they still have 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's 7 anyway, right? They have another Tameshi. What can I do? That's let's just yield their turn. We'll see what they do. I don't think there's a whole lot we could have done in this game. If we got a land, we could start blink. Or we missed 2 land drops in a row. We could have started blinking out their lands, stopped them from getting, from having enough mana to proceed. But if we don't get them, we don't get them. Now we just watch opponent. Opponent, 9 mana. I am planning to add some custom emotes. Honestly, it was kind of a time issue. I don't know what to put there. I'll try to do some on the weekend. It's a promise to you. It's a promise to myself. I'll make time. Because I've definitely been meaning to. It's that next step, right? So I don't know what opponent's doing. They now have no land. They suspend a Lotus. Oh, that'd be amazing. Arts and stuff is not my forte. What I do mostly is like I do like technical stuff, right? I could make a web page, right? But I can't make. I would love to see what you would come up with. We could Flicker Wisp. They don't have any lands. Let's really be amazing. We're going to hold the Flicker Wisp till they put out a land. So end of turn, we can actually... we can make a... Let's yield to the end step. I think that they... Well, they have a lot of Lotus coming. I do have a Discord. I can shoot you... in between games, I will shoot you a message. Or I'll post it in the... Oh, that's so cool. I'm jealous, actually. Like, arts... Like, that's something it's never been my thing. I am going to take a... Plains. Ah, get out of here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, Flicker Wisp. They might sack something. The Flagey Archaeologist has already gotten... Why do they have 11 cards in their hand? Damn it. Fucking Belcher. That's fine. Okay. We passed the turn. Oops. Passed the turn. Let's yield until the end step and... Yeah, so I can send you a link at some point, but what I can do right now, actually, is I can send you my... We can say my Discord is this. There we go. Shoop. Opponent is thinking. So opponent has bolted their land, which suggests... Yeah, I'd love to see what your style is. So we'll surveil. Solitude is good, but not good enough. I think what we do here... What could we possibly draw that's better than Solitude? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to play Flicker Wisp. We're keeping on top. I think that might be a misplay. I'm not sure. We need to resolve this Flicker Wisp. However, I believe they bolted the Hydroelectric Lab specifically so they can Jawari Disruption. But I have 1 extra mana, so Disruption isn't enough. Disrupting Shoal, however, is enough. Because they have 1,000 cards in hand. Welp. Yield through the turn. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Opponent's upkeep. Suspend. Cast the Lotus Bloom. They're just going to run through Tameshi, which I cannot stop. And then... Oh, yeah, we can just... There's nothing I can do here. Let's steal the turn. Last time we did this, they didn't win. I expect them to win, but, you know, whatever. I have accepted. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus 1 is a lot of mana. It's probably we're into activation, right? Yeah. Well, there goes the 5-0. But that said, we're much better than yesterday. We're still trucking along, feeling good. Lag feels great. Belcher's kind of just a crapshoot sometimes. They just they had the they had the resources to stop me, and they stopped me. Okay, so let's kick 5 minutes in between games, and then I will see you in a second. So pull up a bar stool. Okay, we're back. We're here. Let's look into. Let's look into our next matchup. I have to restart the client because that's what happens. Oh wait, right. We have a rule. There's a rule around these parts that if we go to in a game or in a round, we have to change the music. I think we're gonna go about. It's sad. I think this is something that Deletor would like, but Deletor is not in here today. But we are going to listen to some Kal El, some kind of hard change. It's very good. It's very different from what we were listening to, but good. Okay, we're waiting on Magic to load because that's what you do when you play Magic Online. That person had an exceptionally high ELO. Okay. Then we're waiting to load, and then we're gonna go into round 4. I don't know what Magic is doing. It's frozen. I mean, I guess I do know what it's doing. It's frozen. At least it's frozen in between rounds this time. The world of waiting for it to load and hoping you get back into your game in time is truly terrible. On the plus side, yeah, it might be frozen by now. I think I'm gonna quit, or let's close it and reopen it. I would love it if I could have some sort of something fun here for you. Like, is this just me? But like Chrome, right? Like when it's offline, you get the little dinosaur game. That'd be pretty sweet. So, taking a look back, I don't know what this fucking FOMO garbage trash was, but let's look at our. We just lost to Belcher. We have played Belcher 4 times before, and this is the first time we have not won, which is sad, given that, but it's all good. It's all good. Breach, we have played 6 times and won 3 times. So we're 50% on Breach. We're 75% on Belcher. And whatever with the, we've won 1 of 1 games against team or good stuff. I don't know. Mardu, some cards. Here's a game. We're here. We're loaded. It's working. We have won the die roll against Samarias. Samarisu. We will play first. Land, Surveil, Bailmerk, Solitude, Ephemerate. This is a very good hand. Into an unknown opponent, this is an excellent hand. Where's the fucking... So, we're just gonna surveil. Recruiters. We're gonna bin the recruiter. I think with 2 Bailmerks out, we can get the recruiter back, and we can do better than that on a top deck. And stop. We're gonna yield their turn. Ocelot Pride on a plains. We get another recruiter anyway. Fine. So, play a plains. Black 1, impend a Bailmerk. Yes, we would like to use that. I guess we'll get that recruiter back. That's the only option, so that's the option we pick. Yield a turn. So depending on, I would say, depending on what they do, it might make sense to Solitude the Ocelot, but probably no. We'll just hold it. They can get some cats. What they didn't do is play a Johnny, and that would change the math here. So we draw a Fatal Push, which is a very good card. Very good magic card. We want to be able to push the Ocelot Pride, but I think 1, 2, 3. We're gonna play a Bailmerk and see what we get. We're going to, yeah, we're gonna play this. We're hoping to get the black MDFC. We'll use the ability. There's a Wisp though. That is a good Wisp. Felia is a better card overall. Wisp will give us Bailmerk next turn. So let's take Enchanter. We're gonna play and bolt, which gives us Solitude Ephemerate again. Pass the turn. Yield the turn. Bailmerk. Opponent fetches. Now we see if they're, yeah, this is Mardu. Probably, it might be Mardu Energy. It would be crazy if it was Mardu FOMO bullshit. Like if we play the same crazy deck twice, yeah. Opponent Thoughtseize. I think we use this opportunity to Ephemerate Solitude. They're gonna take the Flicker Wisp. They'd probably take the Solitude if they needed to. Flicker Wisp. No, we're not going to. They have to take the Flicker Wisp. If they don't take the Flicker Wisp, then we get the Flicker Wisp back. Or we get whatever they take back. They take the Flicker Wisp. Opponent does know my hand. No attacks. Passes the turn. Witch Enchanter. We can Witch Enchanter Bolt. What do they have? 2 mana. We're going to bolt into Recruiter, leaving up Fatal Push and Ephemerate. Ephemerate exiling Recruiter is totally acceptable move. We're going to take a Wisp because it's a very good card. A little bit different this time. We would have taken Felia if we could cast it. We'll yield the turn. Opponent surveils. discards an Ajani. I guess they know we have a Solitude. Ajani's still a very good card, though. So, Bombardment. Let's... Bombardment on the stack. Fine. They're going to kill the Recruiter, and that's okay. They can also... Awesome, awesome. I'll take a look after this stream, but I will absolutely take a look today. Beginning combat. I mean, Pride. We block here. Nice talking to you. Have a great day. So here, Recruiter's going to die, which it was going to die anyway. Push seems like a waste. We'll gain a little, or they'll gain a little something. So, Interrupter. We do not have a way to take care of the bombardment. We can 1, 2, 3. Flicker Wisp will die. That's fine. Blink out the slower Bailmerk. Pass the turn. Return Bailmerk to my hand. Get a 5/5. Nope, not yet. Opponent fetches. Surveil and surveils. Now we return the Bailmerk. Say Fatal Push. That's fine. I don't think I ever expected that. Like, I could have blinked it. Oh, actually, I could have blinked it and blinked the other. They could have sacked anyway at that point, but... yeah. Does Ajani exile? Yeah. So Ajani, we will not take with the... we're gonna take Thalia this time. Overlord ticks down. So we have a live Bailmerk. They fetch live Bailmerk and Bailmerk only, but our hand's looking okay besides that. Opponent, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Beginning of combat. No combat. So they have the City's Blessing, but they haven't gained any life. We're going to take the risk. We're going to Fatal Push the Ocelot. We're done with that shit. Bombardment. That's fine. Another Solitude. So what we really need is a way to deal with this bombardment. However, we don't have that. What? Can't we get rid of that? I fucking hate this shit. Okay, hold on. Attack. We're dealing with the Overlord. We're attacking with the Overlord. we will do the thing. Every time this stupid... I don't know why these aren't being auto... Wait, what? Why? Okay. Well, opponent has given up. They could see me... Wait. They could see me struggling with this bot, and they decided they don't want any part of it. So here we're taking in Wraths. We're taking in Pest Control. We're taking in Fairy Macabre. We'll double check these choices before we do it, but these are the first. This is the quick version. Vials out for destroy all the things. Right? Hey, look at that. Bam. I got it. So White Orchids are not that useful. Stony Silence is not that useful. Rest in Peace is not that useful. Tranith, Deafening Silence is actually not terrible. If there's anything else that we have that's not good. The one White Orchid we can keep, it's not that great in the matchup, but the first strike is useful. I think we can roll with this. We're calling it, I think this is a pretty classic Mardu energy. Courtyard, 1 land, 1.5 land, 1 2/2 lands, Flickerisp to get back Enchanter or Trawler. I think we can keep this. Fatal Push just in case on the fast land. Opponent, Surveils. Well, Flage is coming in. That will be turn 4. Yeah, not quite yet then. Courtyard, pass the turn. So we have Fatal Push. We have Fatal Push and Solitude Ephemerate out. If they Ocelot Pride, if they... Oh. Opponent misses a land, or misses a land drop. Which makes me think that this Pride is very important. That's how they're going to build the board. So let's kill that. So, no 2-drops. So let's drop the Trawler as a land. We will not pay the 3 and we will pass the turn. Some brutal shit here happening with the opponent. Normally, I'm on the other side of that, right? But, I think at this point, we could Surveil, but with them only having 1 land, I think we're going to play Witch Enchanter, Bolt It, and Recruit. Actually, we won't Recruit. We're going to hold up Interrupter. If they're short on land, that 2 mana becomes huge. That 2 mana becomes a Time Walk. If they cast something this turn, even if they have a land drop, that 2 mana becomes a Time Walk. And that'll give us 1 more turn to really build our board. And if they do something, we have Solitude Ephemerate. Okay. I mean, I think we are in a better position here than they are to sit for a second. We will... Can we bolt again? Let's play the Surveil land. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a... We'll keep that on top. That's a hard cast Solitude at that point. Well, we could have. Yeah. Well, whatever. Well, whatever. We're gonna pass the turn. My worry here is that we are wasting the advantage that we have because they run very well on low mana. So we can't just sit here forever. But neither can they. So now with the Flooded Strand, now the time for action is. There's a pretty good chance they have removal. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4 Flage. They're 2 mana shy of Flage, right? So 1, 2, 3 Recruiter. Recruit an Emperor for next turn. And this turn we're still gonna keep up Solitude. Looking at their hand, yeah. I think Emperor eating Flage is good, and I think we don't have to really worry about that this turn. This turn we have Solitude Ephemerate if we need it, and then we have their fetch into Surveil. I am really liking the second Surveil land. Like I really do love the White Orchid Flagstones interactions, but the land base feels good. Well, we certainly don't need that. The land base feels good, and the second Surveil really, we're using it a lot. So we're kind of terrible draws here, but we can 1/2 Emperor. Beginning of combat, if they let it, yeah, exactly. I think we need to. Oops, wrong button. 1, 2, 3. Interrupt the Fatal Push. Emperor, take that Flage off their hands. They don't need that. Attack with the first damage. Okay, we pass the turn. We're tapped out. We're going to pass their turn too. Surveil land. They kill the Emperor. That's fine. It did what it needed to do. So we want Felia next turn. We can Flicker Wisp. Let's flicker out the Bog. 1, 2, 3. Wisp the Bog. We're going to get rid of their graveyard. Attack all. Trawler comes in. Exile their graveyard. Move to their end step. Or yield till their end step. No, stop yielding. They're going to take our Felia. And there's this. I don't want them to do it, but it'll be paper only move at this point. They took the Ephemerate. It suggests they probably have removal. Ephemerate was by far not the strongest card there. I mean, it. Opponent is thinking, or opponent is lagging, or I'm lagging. Also possible, right? Opponent Flage. Kill the recruiter. That's fine. Play Felia. Move into my turn. Opponent tapped out, no board. Not a great place to be. Pest Control, interestingly, a useless fucking card in this case because I don't have a... Because they don't have any... they don't have any permanents. Okay, so... Let's move into attacks. Attack with Interrupter, Wisp, Trawler, Felia. Felia blinks out Trawler and exiles their graveyard again. And that is a win. So Mardu Energy. The first game we could call a proper win. The second game was a bit more of a opponent didn't do anything. But that's also how my Belcher loss felt, so that's just magic sometimes, right? Okay, we're gonna take a 5-minute break, but I gotta say this feels different. I mean, it's possible, it's just variance, right? But I was looking at my tracking sheet and I was doing really well. Like the deck was feeling good, and I don't know if it's a point where there's a day that it started doing poorly and was poorly for a while, and then this is good. I want to check afterwards. Like I'm very curious if this is if it aligns with how the lag was, because that could be quite interesting. Either way, I'm gonna kick you to the bar for 5 minutes, and then we can come back and we will play the last game of the round, or last round of the league, right? Anyway, so pull up a bar stool. I'll be right back. Okay. We're back. We have one more round. And we're going to jump right in. So far, we have some Mardu Breach. Mardu something. We won. Breach, we won. Belcher, we lost. Mardu Energy, we lost. I mean, we won. Sorry. Now we get one more round. Match 2 was against Breach. We won on time. It's just worth mentioning because this person has the best the best MTGO name there is. So now we just sit and kind of rock out to Kal-El until I'm not gonna lie. This section of the stream is gonna be very boring for people on YouTube because they won't get the music. Okay, we've lost the die roll versus Seppi, which is fine. One land, 2 land, 3 land, 4 land. But we do have a fetch, or we can surveil into Bailmerk into hope we have something better than those two. Turn 3. We're on the draw, so we have 3 draws until we run out of stuff to do, and then we still have Recruiter and Interrupter, so it's not like we have nothing here. Opponent plays an island. Opponent plays a Tammy. I'm gonna immediately assume they're on Breach, but let's see. Basic island is a basic island. It's so fucking basic. Okay, we're just gonna surveil. Fatal Push is a good answer for Tammy. We can keep that on top. Or maybe not Tammy. I don't know. Let's see. We pass. We yield their turn. I don't have anything to do there. They attack. I take 0. They get a clue. Urza Saga. Mox Amber. This is very Breach. Emery. So, here's that Fatal Push that we know so much about. I think at this point we actually get rid of Emery. So we can crack Marsh Flats and get rid of Emery. We could cast Bailmerk, but honestly, they start drawing to a turn, and that's an issue. But we can crack the Marsh Flats, get a Surveil land, and then push Emery anyway. We don't need the mana. We need the Revolt. We keep Felly on top. Push Emery into open blue mana, but Breach doesn't really run. Okay. Yeah, we yield the turn. Opponent. Oh no, opponent milled a. That's okay. Opponent milled an Underworld Breach. If they had scryed it away, that'd be an issue. Or if they had surveilled it away, that would say something about their hand. In this case, I think this is good. They attack with Tammy. They don't do whatever they were going to do. Opponent plays a Misty Rainforest. Cast Grinding Station. Nothing we can do here. Even if we wanted to, we only have 2 lands. Their end step into our turn. We draw our Ophelia. Play a plains, pass the turn. So we need our interrupter up. They're going to draw a red source, yeah. So we have interrupter up. We have Felia in case they don't do anything, but they have grind. They took the fact that they exposed grinding station was presumably making sure that we are. Yeah, it was probably a little bit of an overextension, uncovered to see what they would do. They're gonna woodlands, make breach. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. My interrupter does nothing here. So they mill themselves. They have an opal. We're gonna interrupt it because otherwise we might lose anyway. But this is the only chance we have. More so than in the interrupter. We interrupt the opal, but everything else costs 2. So now that it's resolved, it hopefully shuts off. They can pay blue. Like, they still have. They can pay blue 1 for interrupter to get. Oh, they could have gotten the bauble, which would have untapped grinding station. And they could have maybe pushed onward, but interrupter's a very good card. Well, I guess they had a bauble in hand, so that's how that works. Opponent attacks with Tammy. No blocks, I guess. My 2/2 and the 0/3 doesn't matter. They sack their shifting woodland, not having won this turn. What does Emperor get us? Nothing, I think. Shock a Godless Shrine. Black 1 Bailmer. We will use the Bailmer to get Bowmasters. So they know we have Bowmasters. We have the untapped mana for it. Let's attack with Interrupter. That's not how they win. It doesn't matter if we block Tammy. Pass the turn. So Felia and Bowmasters are our answers. Our answers are not great. They just looked at our hand. Or they just looked at our top card. So throw out Bowmasters. They'll counter it. Oh, maybe not. They think about countering it. No, they draw a card. That's fine. Tammy's 3 cards, I think. Arguably, she could still attack. And she could still... If she attacks and they play a land, it's their turn. I think we still do 1, 2, 3. Now they draw a card. I am not sure about this line. There's on some level that should have maybe been in the face. This is the same from the other game. But it's... Why? Is it not too... Well, okay, whatever. Whatever. I messed something up. I'll look at it later. They drew a land for turn. Oh, because they got that other... Yeah, because they got the other one in before. That's fair. That was a mistake. But that's fine. Opponent. Plays Tamiyo. Tormod script. That's not the end of the world. Play Marsh Flats. What do they have in their graveyard? A bauble and a bauble. Beginning combat. Tammy is plussed, which means we could do a minimal amount of damage to her. I think we're going face. Yeah, we're not going face with a lot. And arguably probably shouldn't have attacked with the Bowmasters, since it does nothing. And nothing is the worst amount of something. That's fine. That wasn't a great attack. But, but we don't expect them to be doing much attacking. We probably should have recruited there. We're going to fetch for a basic Casphelia. Into my turn. So we have Felia's gonna blink off Tammy and legend rule that shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is exactly where we want to be. We will shock. One, two, three, recruiter. We're gonna recruit. So they have Saga up. They can make a construct. We don't. We could Flicker Wisp, which they're gonna use anyway. If we Flicker Wisp, then they make their thing. We'll take a white orchid. Destroy the Saga, forcing them to make their construct now, which is fine. So we are a little bit exposed. Opponent shocks for no reason. Presumably they're going to kill Felia. Nope. Killing failure doesn't cost 2 mana. Oh, it does. Flame of Anor, huh? Okay. Then we are going to block with, we only have 1 flyer. Yeah, I guess we're not going to attack. Belmerk ticks down, we pass the turn. We're 2 minutes back. Game 1. Opponent returns Flame. Not good, but does remove them from... removes it from... removes Tammy from alting. Opponent flames. We're hoping 1/2 damage. Hey, this 2 damage isn't great. Oh, I guess we don't. Tammy's just gonna flip anyway. Let's do face. 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 So Tammy's gonna flip. Legend Rule will get the other one out, or Prison will get the other one out so they can plus the new Tammy. Honestly, this kind of takes care of our Tammy problem. We're hoping they don't do what they're about to do. Yep. I think that the game is theirs. We yield through the turn and let them kill me. Unless they don't find... Oh, they did find a second opal, so... Oh, wait, that's only the first opal. Well, they have baubles. Well, they have... Yeah, whatever. Opponent is going to make up... Oh, they have all the opals now. So, while opponent wins, let's look at the sideboard. Being one of the biggest matchups in the meta, we have quite a bit of sideboard for it. What we saw in the last game, we ended up winning on time, and that was really because we started with a handful of hate, and they destroyed it. They got through it all, but it took them enough time that they lost. This time, less so. This time they're going in with a healthy amount. 17 minutes for the second, or into the second game. So Thoracle comes down. We begin sideboarding. Fair enough. I don't know this person, so... Okay, so we're getting rid of a Bowmaster. We're getting rid of an Emperor. We're getting rid of a Baelmerk. Interrupters are great. We are going to take most of this stack. We don't need... Okay, Stony Silence, yes. Rest in Peace, yes. Kataki, yes. Drana's Magistrate, yes. Deafening Silence, yes. So, Fatal Pushes. See, Vials treated us very well the last Breach matchup, but at the same time, we literally are siding in the tools to shut it down. If we take out Vials, what does that leave us with? Three Failure, two Emperors. Yeah, leaving in one Vial doesn't make sense. And cutting 4 other cards. What does the match look like if we have 3? If there's 3, we cut a Recruiter. We cut a Skyclave. Cut a Push. And roll 61. Yeah. I think this is okay. We will play first. We will close this. 1, 2, 3. That's not super. We need something a little more interactive here. Okay, deafening silence, stony silence, Felia, witch enchanter. We'll keep that. And then dump the marsh flats. Well, I guess we're going to dump the back street. We can get it with marsh flats if we want. And conceal courtyard, we can play deafening silence first turn. Which, there's maybe an argument to be made that that's not good, because it's giving them something to play into, but they can't counter it now, so that's what we're doing. Opponent, bobble. Into my turn. Marsh flats, stony silence is enough. Deafening silence is enough. We don't need to commit everything to the board right away. Though I doubt they have enchantment sweepers, but opponent cracks the bauble, looking at their own deck, which they like. They liked what they see. They draw a card. Opponent plays a tap breeding pool. We're going to fetch into a plains. We're going to go for Felia. Possibly into a Stern Scolding. I think that's at least the likely. Steam Vents, bolt it. That's fine. I mean, rather they didn't, but that's okay. One, two, three, four. Okay, we're gonna play Witch Enchanter as a land. Tapped. I don't know if that was smart or not, because I think that. Yeah, that's exactly. I didn't cast it last turn, looking into Felia, but now I have no reason not to. I'm not sure if I should have cast or played the Witch Enchanter as a land, simply because that turns off Solitude. Well, it turns off Solitude Ephemerate. But that's fine. Against this deck, that's not the end of the world. Oh, and I can't Solitude Ephemerate anyway with Deafening Silence out. So that's the thing. Opponent plays Shifting Woodland with 5 card types. I'll play a land and pass the turn. 'Turn. 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 ' Opponent destroys Stony Silence at end of turn. Nature's Claim. Plays a Mox Amber. Plays a Tameo. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3 land. 3 mana open. Another Ephemerate is not great. We'll pass the turn. Opponent, second Nature's Claim, gets rid of Deafening Silence. We're now completely shields down. We attack with Tammy. We want to top deck anything that isn't... Okay. They draw a card. Opponent fetches. Shocks. Casts a Grinding Station. Is this for value? What do they have? They have a bauble in their hand. Well... I mean, there's nothing I can do here, so I don't know why I'm... Opponent casts Emery. Emery digging on the stack. Exile Ephemerate to Solitude. Solitude Emery. Resolve that. Pay white. Ephemerate Solitude. Exile Tammy. Flicker Wisp would be great right now. It would... we're not going to cast the Ephemerate. Fatal Push is less good. Shit. I accidentally did an attack. That's not great. I've been pretty good about my triggers today. That was not one of those moments. Breach, and that is game. We're taking off our pass. They seem a bit unsure what they're doing. Even though, oh, I see. They had Mox Amber, but they first needed Tameo for mana. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now we yield their turn. We let them play. Last round of the league, we can just kick back and think about our mistakes. Yeah, Breach just, it fights through so much hate. They killed Solitude for some reason. I guess. Oh. Well, I don't think it matters, but now that they killed Solitude, let's push Emery. And then continue passing the turn. They can just recast it. Opponent can now cast Emery. You have to sit here, cat. Interesting. So they did mill Thoracle, but they have Shifting Woodland anyway. Oh, for Shifting Woodland is not ETB, right? Yeah, they can just cast it, of course. They always just mill it. Well, that's all. We went 3-2 today, which at least gets us our entry back. So let's take a look at the deck, and let's reflect what went well, what went didn't. What went didn't is definitely not how we talk, but that's fine. Oops. So, let's move to the deck. Ugh. God damn it, Magic Online. I tell ya. Sometimes. Okay. Let's move to the deck. So taking a look at the deck, Bowmasters was fantastic. Honestly, with the way this matchup went, I don't know what I would cut, but I could see having a second Bowmasters in here. I think one is probably fine, but it really did quite well. Our lands were fine. We stick by the 22 with the MDFCs. So that's quite good. I think everything, the balance of the deck itself is quite good. Taking a look at the sideboard, we have Deafening Silences were... It's hard to tell. Deafening Silences were amazing, except they just removed them. Like, we lost to Breach once, and we would have lost except for time to the second. And both times we lost game one, and both times we had a lot of sideboard hate, and they just powered through it anyways. This is a problem. I don't know if that means we devote less time to the side. It might mean that we should have Thoughtseizes in the side. I don't yet know what we would cut, and or if it would be that useful. Pest Control is the only card in the list that doesn't seem amazing. It was okay. I got it, and it would have been great in energy, but they were stumbling anyway. And honestly, if I were to cut it, it would probably be for a third Wrath Skies. So the comparison is not between Pest Control and other things, it's between Pest Control and Wrath Skies. And I think if we have two Wrath Skies and a third, it can be Pest Control. Yeah, either way, we'll walk away with this 3-2 and just be happy about the deck. Felt okay. Then, just a little fixing the stream. Does that help? Exactly. Okay. Then aside from that, that is our stream for the day. That's our league for the day. I know Akira Oliva, you're not here anymore, but maybe you'll see this on whatever. Akira Oliva said they will take a look at some icons for some custom emoji, which is super cool. So maybe those come in our future. If they're not, I have to deal with it, but I will. Aside from that, tomorrow is Wild Card Day. Not sure exactly what's going to happen. I was thinking we might start having special guests on the stream. So maybe we have 2 or 3 people. Maybe some friends could come on and rip apart my gameplay live as we play. Remember, it's all about getting better. Otherwise, if nothing else, we'll maybe do a little bit of Death and Taxes, maybe experimental build, maybe some other thing. I'll plan that on the fly. The other thing I have to say is start making a lookout. I have this commander deck. Some of you have seen this. This deck is unsleeved and is played unsleeved for a very good reason. It has some very, very interesting cards in it, and I think I'm going to start going through them kind of randomly and kind of saying what I liked about them, and I have some stories behind them as well. I think I'll film those and start doing those as YouTube shorts. So be sure to take a look at that. And yeah, other than that, I will sign off. I wish all of you Mothlings a lovely day. I wish you the best whatever time it is, and if it's the appropriate time, then there's no longer a need to wait for me, but actually pull up a bar stool and you can meet me at the bar. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for the regularly scheduled stream. Ciao.